2021. What a year.
What a year.
What a year.
Let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it.
And let's talk about it today with our good buddy. Can you introduce yourself?
Gladly. I'm Caleb Wyrick from Houston, an extremely talented and handsome man.
Shut the fuck up.
Wait, weren't you in that other podcast?
You have quite a history with podcasts, don't you?
Yeah. I'm kind of like the party girl at podcasts that get passed around all the time. It's pretty good. Yeah. It was a great experience, walking the streets of California, seeing people that I didn't know and apparently should have known, and then making an absolute dick out of myself on a podcast.
And then going viral on
TikTok. Did you see how many views you have?
Did you see how many red flags I have apparently?
Oh, yeah.
Well, that's not necessarily your fault, but...
Yeah, it's so strange because if people had watched the full cut of it on YouTube...
I watched it, and all of the comments were like, "Caleb's been my favorite guest so far."
It's literally exactly what I'm saying on YouTube. All these people were like I had people like slide into my DMs and stuff like that after that, and were like, "Dude, you're such a nice guy." And this one girl was way too horny to be on the internet. She said some shit about I'm about to move to Houston. Do you still live there?
Oh my god!
And I was like,
After you spent an hour talking about how much you love your girlfriend.
Wait, do you guys want to hear how many views this has?
Oh yeah,
sure. I haven't seen it since I had a red flag. So
it has 3.3 million views.
3.3 million people
and it
saw
has,
that.
907,000 likes.
Great.
Wow.
Oh my goodness!
And most of the comments are me arguing with people in the comments.
Yeah,
I know. Me and
Leave him
Lindsey
alone.
were both like, "Shut the fuck up."
I've seen it from what I've been told because I only went on it the day it got released. I went on it and I looked through the comments, and that's never a good thing to do. By the way.
Did we clarify what this podcast was?
Oh no, we did not. We just started
didn't.
talking about it.
No.
It's a famous podcast called Podcast But Outside. It has the Viner Cole Hirsch. He hosts it with his friend. What's his name?
Andrew.
Yeah. And they each. Yeah, that's the guy. And they do this podcast where they just set up a table in front of different businesses in California and just ask random people to come on their show, and Caleb happened to be one of those people.
Caleb happened to be carrying 400 hangers coming home from Target.
Literally all of the comments are like, "This is such a red flag," or they're like, "Sorry, I just got worried about my hangers." LMAO.
Yeah.
That part was very funny.
I mean, ADHD, I guess.
No, it's true. It's true.
I actually read online. So the whole thing was, I'm walking down the street with these hangers, and I had been helping my girlfriend build closets and stuff and hanging stuff, and essentially I was extremely bored. And I was walking home and I saw these, interesting looking guys set up a table, and I was like, a podcast? Man, I have a lot of stuff I could talk about. I'll go on this podcast. And I just basically told a story about me and my girlfriend getting in an argument, and I punched a pole really hard, and an extremely dark time of my life kind of deal. And but I did read that if you have ADHD, you have you are more liable to have sudden outbursts of extreme energy.
Yes.
Yeah.
So not only was it I got mad, which I was, granted, it was also that me brain no worky, and I just got an extreme energy and just had to expel it. You know.
Sometimes it's got somewhere to go. My boss just called me back.
Uh-oh.
Do you need to take it?
No, I'm not gonna take it. I'm gonna be like, "Oh, sorry, going into work now. Can't."
Are you supposed to be in work right now?
No, I worked 4:30 to 1 today.
I was like, what?
You woke up at 4th?
Okay. I woke up at 4, and then do you want to hear the first thing I
actually
did this
fell
morning?
asleep at 4.
Yeah.
On the rail.
I went to sleep around. Yeah, me too. Actually,
it's really great.
I think I heard Andy leaving for work. I was like, have a good day.
Yeah, it's kind of the worst. But so the very first thing. Okay, so the past couple of days have been a little bit wild for me. And last night I was having a pretty bad night, and a bunch of friends texted me and were like, "Hey, you okay? Blah 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 blah." And then I felt better, and then I went to sleep, and I was like, I could fight God and be fine. And then I woke up this morning and was humbled immediately whenever I slammed my face into a door. It was really stupid too. I was opening the door, but I accidentally opened it and put my foot in front of it, so it stopped on me, and then I walked straight into it.
Nice.
Anyways, I think I have a concussion.
Is there a smart way to run into a door? You said it was a stupid way, so I assume there's also an intelligent way.
Yeah, the insinuation that there's a smart way to run into it.
Right.
Yeah. No, and then I was showing Mapes and Meredith what I did, and I accidentally hit my head against the door again.
Nice.
You got to remove it. I mean, you got to remove the whole door at that point.
The whole door.
Yep.
Yeah,
It's a cursed door.
It's simply a door that's preventing
Was it like
you
a
from fighting God.
like a glass door or like a wooden door?
No, it was like a wooden door.
Oh, so you could see it.
Yeah, well, it was white. It was 4:30 in the morning. Fuck off.
Fair.
It was so early, and then I had to go into work, and I was like crying, just like a little bit.
Not Andy saying that she was crying and you guys laughing.
well, it's just
It's a little bit funny.
Fuck up. No, it was truly one of my darkest moments. But I'm like kind of in a good mood.
Oh, the lights were off. That's why you ran in the door.
The lights weren't off.
Oh, darkest moment.
One of the darkest moments.
Oh, I get it.
Yeah, see, this side got it.
I didn't get it because my concussion is fucking with me.
Oh, sure.
But honestly, it was like a pretty good day. Granted that happened.
Yeah, cool.
I think it's because my brain doesn't work, so it can't be sad.
That is such a good point. You know, life's what you make it. So let's make it right.
Your words are your world, my guy.
Let's make it right.
Wow.
For sure.
Anyways,
So
I know it's really early in the show to do this, but I was just looking at Twitter trends.
Oh no.
Okay.
And there's one specifically that kind of reminded me of Caleb.
Okay. My mind just went to literally 15,000 different things.
I hope it's not what I think it is.
It's probably not. It's Neanderthals.
Oh.
Oh, very funny. Oh, Caleb's a knuckle dragger, angry boy. Very funny.
Also, Tim Allen.
Oh, sweet. That one also reminds me of Caleb.
Cool. Yeah. Tool time.
Okay. Wow. Thank you for that.
So, I mean, what about Neanderthals?
Yeah, just
I thought you were like
The
part
word?
Neanderthal. Did
We
you do,
are,
like,
we
a-
are all like
Isn't
very.
everybody?
No, I know, but I
Yeah.
thought you were
No,
like a
I
little
do.
bit more.
I do have a doing that. What is it?
23 or
23andMe, I think.
yeah,
that's
I was
right.
gonna say
Something
New
like that.
52, but that's a DC comic series. Yeah. 23andMe, yeah, I have like 5% Neanderthal, and usually it's like 2%.
Ooh.
Wait,
Okay,
my
5%.
mom has like 20% Neanderthal.
Wait, are you serious?
Yeah, like she has like a crazy high amount.
What?
Yeah.
Karina, you're a Neanderthal.
But I did the test too, and I only have like 1 or 2%.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, so it's really
Okay.
weird.
You're lucky.
I guess. Well,
You'd punch a pole if you had 20%.
It's so funny because my mom is like one of the smartest people I know. She was on the podcast, you guys remember, and so she like did all this research into it, and she's like, well, actually, like Neanderthals like were like smarter than Homo sapiens and like all this stuff.
Well,
so apparently
they
there's
had-
like different.
The big brain.
They
Big
literally
brain.
did have a bigger,
Yeah.
not only cranium but brain. That's why they had the bigger cranium.
Yeah.
Big brain means more wrinkles.
Pronounced.
Yes.
I have a giant smooth brain.
Yeah, big old smooth brain.
Yeah.
Looking like a chicken breast.
Yeah.
Okay.
My brain looks like one of those like blobfish.
Does it have like
Yeah.
a face and everything?
Yeah.
That's cute.
Yeah.
I love
Okay.
it.
Very
I love
interesting.
it.
You couldn't see, but I have a mask on, but I made the blobfish face.
How do you make the
Like, you know,
blobfish
like the
face?
signature.
You know they've got like the big.
Oh, the big. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can catch a blobfish in Stardew Valley,
You can.
and then you can make a
Yeah,
mask
really?
out of it.
It all. Ew.
It's the most disgusting thing.
Ew, just imagine it,
Terrible.
it's so slimy.
I know.
That's
It's
basically the equivalent
I
of
have
like
one.
You go to the tavern
cutting
to like.
somebody's
I'll show you
face
too.
off and
Yeah.
eating it.
literally and just putting it on top
Seriously.
of your
Putting it on
face. Yeah, it's bad.
You go to the tavern to like, you know, talk to the locals with the blobfish mask on. They're like, Jesus fucking Christ.
But they just talk to you like normal. No, there's like just
Hey, man,
another
what's
day.
Just
You
got a
know.
blobfish.
I love
face
a
on
good
it.
NPC.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Not the non-romanceable ones though.
yeah. Those
they're
can go.
boring.
Yeah.
The only one I
No,
care about
thanks.
that's not romanceable is Robin. Robin and
Robin's great.
Her, the husband.
fucking Demetrius?
Yeah,
He's
Demetrius.
fine. He gives me weird vibes.
He's a big science guy.
I
Well,
was.
he in the first cutscene you get with I think it's either him or Maru. You're like talking and you're in their lab, and then Maru walks out for a second, and Demetrius is like, "Would
Oh,
be
yeah,
a
he's like-
shame if something happened to Maru, wouldn't it?"
Well,
And
he's
it's
like
like,
he's being
what?
overprotective.
No,
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
No, I understand the intent.
Yeah.
But due
Well-
to meme culture, we are reprogrammed to think differently.
Yeah, I was gonna say, that's a good point.
That's very true.
Welcome to our Stardew Valley podcast.
Seriously, I cannot believe that game has been out for 5 years.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
insane.
It's crazy.
I've owned that game for a long
yeah, I've
time
owned it-
now,
I've
and
owned
I
it for
only
4 years,
just
yeah.
actually started playing.
It's so fucking fun. I
Yeah.
can't stop playing it.
Me
It's the
either.
only thing that like I feel like calms me down after. It's really satisfying. Like Caleb and Karina, y'all will probably understand. It's really satisfying as someone with ADHD to do thing that is like accomplishing tasks.
Yes.
Sure, yeah.
But you get to just kind of sit there.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, I totally
great.
agree.
I enjoy Stardew Valley too.
Yeah.
I'm not saying you don't.
I also enjoy it.
You like completing tasks too? Your
Yeah,
normal
fuck you,
brain?
Lindsey.
Yeah, grow up.
Grow up.
Hey, I'm neurotypical as far as I know.
Yeah. So she says.
Yeah, man, I just can't believe that game's been out for 5 years.
Yeah, that's crazy. And I still haven't romanced Elliot.
Still you need to get on that.
Which one's Elliot? Is he the one that lives on the beach?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Wait, Elliot is so sweet. I fucking hated him at first.
That
but,
dude
like,
is the
I'm
most
talking to him now.
That dude is like the most stereotypical, like mysterious Chad that's ever existed in a video game.
I love
Everything
him.
that I love.
I know,
that I
right?
love.
Like he lives on the beach in a cottage. He like won't talk to you at 1st.
I don't like how he doesn't look you in the eyes though.
Yeah.
You
I love
only
that.
see his side
Well, that's
profile.
because that's his good side.
Yeah, I know. He has a hideous malformation on the other side,
he's
so
like
he
Phantom
hides
of
it.
the Opera.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Wait, you want to know who the best PC or NPC
Wow,
in that
that's-
game is?
Is
though?
it Abigail?
Yes,
It's
it is.
Abigail.
It is Abigail.
I knew it.
100%, easily.
Yeah, actually,
Without question.
I would, even though she's not my favorite character, she is like the best character because she's the only one who will go to the mines with you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that's the
Marry
only
her.
reason
Like,
she's
Yeah.
the best one. And
Yeah.
also her cutscene after 10 Hearts is so cute.
Oh, I haven't seen
Have you
it.
seen it? It's very good.
Was that the spirit board one? Is that what that was?
No,
Or
it's
is
not
it
the spirit board one. It's whenever, if you like go out of the mines past like 10 p.m., it's like you see her like trying to get into the mines, but then like a bunch of bats flies up and she gets like scared and it's really cute.
Oh.
I love to see it.
What's the one that's like he's the dude that used to work at JoJo Mart and now he's like the fuck it, like that guy. The guy
Sam?
Or
Shane.
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 Like
Chicken boy.
the
Chicken boy.
I think he's like, I like that all the romanceable NPCs are like this stereotypical, like he's the one that, is like the, I want to fix him kind of guy.
Yeah,
Yeah, you know what I mean?
And the whole internet loves that.
I know,
He's a
exactly.
They
bitch. I
love
love
it.
him.
They eat it up.
It's like I got 5 hearts with him yesterday and like it's so funny because like he says absolutely nothing nice to you until you get to like 5 hearts with him. And he was like, wow, you sure are persistent. And then the next day he sent me a pizza in the mail.
Like in an envelope.
Yeah.
Like
it's
well, there was like an
greasy.
envelope
yeah.
and it was like,
Found this in the back of the freezer. Here's this for you. It's like,
Wow,
thank
It's
you.
been like
Thank you,
thawing in the
Shane.
back of your mailbox.
That's
for-
right. That's
it was like, I guess if we're friends, I should send you something. And then it's just like a loose pizza like in your mailbox.
Shoved in there.
Yeah,
He
it's, like,
personally-
folded.
He personally came to the farm in the middle of the night and shoved a pizza in
He's
there.
probably hammered. He's like, I got your pizza and shit like this.
So bad. We've been talking about Stardew Valley for like
Too
10
long.
minutes.
Let's talk about a different video game. Pokemon. No.
I love it.
Okay, sure. Lindsay's been playing a lot of Pokemon. A lot of it.
But we've also got a big Pokemon news recently.
Yeah.
We
There's
got
been a lot of
going
games
on.
announced.
True.
3 whole games. Very excited.
That's very
Yeah.
exciting.
Well, I'm not gonna play the Diamond and Pearl remakes, but
Come on, man. We're gonna be. Oh man, I'm gonna cry when I boot that game up. Like even the trailer where it like went back in time and it was like 2017 black and white.
I was actually crying.
I was
Like
really
the trailer before the Pokemon Presents, it was like it like went through like everything that Pokemon has done since like the beginning,
Dang.
and it was like this whole trailer was so cute, and I literally started crying. I was
Yeah.
like, oh my god, like. This has been so much of my childhood. Like
Yeah.
there's so much that have
True.
happened. Like there's still so many games that I haven't played. I really want to go back and like play like some of the older games because I didn't start playing Pokemon. Like my first Pokemon game was Pokemon Platinum, and so like
a great one to start with, like a jam of a game. Dude,
very
Pokemon's
good.
crazy.
Very good.
The
It's
most
so
frustrating
insane.
thing about Pokemon though is that you have like the games only come out for certain consoles, but then they stop making the games and they
Yeah.
stop making the consoles, but then they're like, well, you can't use the emulators. It's like,
Yeah.
how else am I supposed to
That does
play
suck.
them?
That does suck because sometimes I want to go back and play like Moon, but
Yeah.
I've gotten so used to like playing it like on a bigger screen, and then I feel like
Exactly.
if I like go on my DS, I'm gonna be like, oh, this sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like what the hell is
So
that?
I wish they would
Thing.
like release the games like on their new platforms, their older ones, because I feel like that
I
would
think
be such a
I
good
think that's
idea.
mainly what people were asking for. They didn't necessarily want like a Diamond and Pearl remake. They wanted like
just the regular
Cross-compatibility.
game, just cross,
like
yeah.
they wanted Pokemon to release their older games on Switch so we could play them on Switch.
That's what I
But-
would have liked as well.
Yeah, I mean that would be sick. Cause like you can do that with like Mario games.
Yeah.
they
Yeah,
have
most
like all
of
the
Mario
Mario
games.
games.
I
you
have
can get on
Mario
freaking
64
Switch.
on my Switch. Like it's easy.
Oh, did you buy
Super
the
Mario World, Mario 64?
the Mario 64?
It was
Sunshine.
I did,
It was free.
and let me tell you.
They had a free download. For
Oh, yeah.
it.
Pogger.
No, I got the 3D Mario pack. Best purchase I've ever made. I love Super Mario Galaxy so much.
I've not played it yet.
That game's beyond slaps.
It's literally so good. The soundtrack is so good. The game is just
yeah,
so good.
While we're on the talk about video games, I want to talk about my video game that I played, Buddy Simulator 1984. Yes! Oh my goodness.
Let me tell you.
I think only Lindsey was there for my streams of it, but it is such an interesting game because it's a learning AI game. I've never played anything like it before. And it starts out as a text game, and you like type like this, your friend or whatever who's talking to you through the screen, like gives, like, you play games. So you start out with like rock, paper, scissors and hangman. And then he's like, well, these are boring. I'm going to make something else. So then it turns into a 2D game, like a top down view where you're kind of walking around this town, completing little quests or whatever. But then the game has like glitches and like all this, like these scary things happen. And then it turns into a 3D game. And then at the very last point, you're actually like in the game. So it's kind of like you're
like first person.
Yeah, it's a first person game. And then apparently I learned there's 3 different endings you can get.
Wait, for real?
So I am going to go back and play it again to try to get those endings.
When I tell you guys, I've never been more invested in watching somebody play a game. It was literally so good.
It's so interesting. There's so it's kind of the same thing like Undertale. There's a genocide route where you disobey Buddy at every opportunity. So all the times like when he's like, okay, go to bed, and then like if you can just type in no and just like keep playing, but then he gets mad and like the game starts breaking. So that's what I'm gonna do for the next run. It's gonna be pretty spooky.
I know for a fact that if I played that game, I would literally never disobey because I'm like,
it was scary.
I'm like terrified
It was
of
so
like
scary.
AI and stuff like that, and I'm like, the robots are gonna kill me. I would.
It was literally horrifying.
Buddy's already gonna kill me because Karina told it that I was her friend.
So there was an option in the game. Buddy asks you about like a real life friend. So I put in Linz, right? And in the game, he created this whole town that was called Linzville. Linz was the mayor, and then immediately, 2 seconds in, she dies.
Killed me.
In like an extremely gruesome death.
It was like the giant
and he was like,
bullworm
oh, no.
from SpongeBob. Fucking
yeah, the bullworm, Alaskan
took me
bullworm.
out.
Oh my god, it was such a good game. Highly recommend.
It's cool.
Is it on Steam?
Yeah, it's on Steam. It's $10.
Ooh. I do be liking
worth a shot.
Do be liking cheap games.
I know, that's why I got it. Cheap indie games.
It really made me want to play like Undertale again though. Like
yeah,
like I was watching you play and I was like, oh man, Undertale.
I have never played Undertale.
It's
not even a second of it actually.
The fandom for Undertale sucks. Everybody that's
so bad.
But
extremely
Undertale
horny.
is honestly like unironically
like
such a good game.
Yeah.
Like, and the soundtrack is just amazing. I
have the soundtrack on my phone, seriously.
You got like Megalovania playing constantly. Yeah. Bumping in my car. I like roll the windows down. It's like
and anyone who turns their head and looks at you, you know.
Oh, yeah.
You know.
There's no way some random person on the street is like, what is this interesting music? Everybody goes, oh my god, fucking Megalovania.
Who was playing that? Exactly.
I always have Death by Glamour stuck in my head. It's the Metaton one.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I'm always like, fuck yeah. Turn up.
Have y'all guys played Friday Night Funkin' at all?
I have not, but I really want to.
I've never even heard of that.
I see a lot of my artist friends making like mods for it and putting their own characters in it, and I want to do that so bad.
So it's a rhythm game. It's kind of like Parappa the Rapper for PS1 if you ever heard of that or played it. But it's just a rhythm game. It's like Dance Dance Revolution with your keyboard, and it's
arrows.
I mean, the rhythm part's fun, but I think everybody's really like. This is topical news. A song from it. Satin Panties is like one of the songs from it. It just hit number 13 on Spotify.
Oh my god!
Wow!
Wow!
Dang.
Like a video game song in the top 100. You know what I mean? It's like weird. It's fun though. You should look up some gameplay, but it's like
really cute. It's
the
really
art
cute.
style's fucking cool.
Oh, it's so cute. Yeah.
And it's made by Newgrounds people.
Everybody's obsessed with the Friday Night Funkin' girlfriend.
She do be pretty bad though.
I just want to put my own characters in it.
Yeah. It from what I've seen, it looks like super accessible too. Like to mod it and stuff like. It doesn't look like it's really hard.
It looks pretty easy. Like it doesn't look very hard. So I definitely want to try it out.
The music is like, oh my gosh, it's so good. And there's no words either. It's like,
interesting.
But you feel so much, you know.
Yeah. Music is
putting everything I have into these little arrow keys. I'm like,
into these like beep, boop, pop, pop.
Those are like my favorite kind of game. I'm like obsessed with rhythm games. Honestly, I feel like I should stream those more often. I play Osu a lot. I don't know if you guys know what that is. Like
I do.
Oh yeah.
Osu slaps.
That honestly, that game is like hard.
It's
extremely
fun.
hard. And I see people doing like the hardest levels like so fast. I'm like, how?
I use my art tablet.
That's
That's
smart.
what I've seen a lot of people do that too.
Yeah, that's what most people do. I don't think a lot of people really actually use their mouse, but there are some people that do.
There's a lot of professional like first person shooter players that use OSU as like aim training.
That makes sense.
To
That's
God,
actually really
swear
smart.
to God, yeah.
That is smart.
That's
That's a really good idea.
There's a guy in the Overwatch League named Jajonak that does it all the time. It's like it's super surreal, like, tuning into a stream. It's this little Korean guy, tuning into a stream. He's not speaking any English, but he's like playing the game in Overwatch and he gets frustrated and then he doesn't play a game and he goes on OSU and like instead of like
Target
looking like
practice.
he's having fun, he like goes into like super hyper focus mode and like
Yeah.
on OSU and then plays the next game and like doesn't miss a shot. You know what I mean? Like it's
Yeah.
crazy.
Wow.
That's really cool. I'd never thought of doing that.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Work. I'll have to use
This-
OSU for first person shooter
I
practice.
know,
then.
seriously.
Have y'all ever played VR at all?
No.
I tried to once, but my laptop could not handle it.
Okay. So for Christmas, I got the Oculus Rift S.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all one, you have to come over and play it. Two, you have to play Beat Saber. You were talking about rhythm games.
Oh my
I
God,
wanna
wanna play
be-
Beat
I
Saber
wanna
so
play Beat
bad.
Saber so badly.
They have Beat Saber. They have a Beat Saber arcade version over at Main Event, and we were there one time, and I saw it, and I was like, oh, but it's like expensive to play
Yeah.
every play. But God, I want to play it so bad.
Dude, seriously, just come anytime. Come over. I have
Bet.
I have my whole room set up to where you have like 8 feet on each side, and oh yeah, and you get I get into it when I play. And so
I don't think
You have
there's
to.
no other way.
Yeah.
Did y'all see that video on Twitter like I think it was like 2 or 3 weeks ago where this chick is on instead of she's playing this other game called Pistol Whip where it's like Beat Saber but you have to shoot people to a rhythm. I have that one too. It's really
that sounds really
it's
fun.
really cool. But she's like going in. She's like on the ground like crouching like
You gotta.
and then this
You gotta get into it.
This her I guess like her fiance.
Oh, he was trying to
is
propose
gonna
to her?
propose
Oh,
to her.
yeah,
She's
yeah,
like
I saw
going,
that.
she's like,
Oh my
"Pow, pow,
God."
pow, pow." And then after it, she like takes off her Oculus, so she's like sweating and like breathing
What's
deeply.
going on?
And the guy's like on his knee. It's like, damn, what a time to
So
propose.
funny. I'm that girl. Like
You know
that's
he did
me.
not
Like,
hug
Yeah,
her
that's-
after.
I'm that girlfriend.
He did not
I'm
hug
like,
her after that. He was like,
Yeah. It's like, cool.
yes, cool. Hand. Oh, your hands are sweaty too.
Yeah.
Elbow.
Elbow, yeah. The
yeah.
COVID friendly.
What
Oh my
about you,
gosh.
Andy? Do you have a video game that you want to gush about?
It's very video game heavy podcast.
Video game.
Game heavy podcast. I've been playing a lot of games recently, actually. I've been playing. So I just started my first playthrough of The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt
On PS.
on PS4.
Yeah, so it looks
Such-
amazing.
Oh my God, it's beautiful. I didn't realize it was like a newer game. I thought it was like, because I had played Witcher, like the original game, and it was like, shitty graphics,
Yeah.
but like still just the best game. And so when I got to even like the load screen of Witcher 3, I was like amazed, and it's really, really good. I'm playing like 8 different games at once right now because my brain will not let me play just one game at a time. So I'm playing that, and then I also finished a playthrough of What Remains of Edith Finch, which I highly, highly recommend. It is a beautiful game. It's just an indie like walkthrough story game, and I love games like that. And so that one's really good. It's really cool. You get to walk through like this big like mansion that like is just super funky and yeah.
That's cool.
No one knows what I'm talking about.
Well,
so it's
but-
hard
Well,
to-
that's-
I've
that's
heard
why
of the
you're
game
explaining it to
before.
us.
Yeah.
The fact that video games went from like another way to get a competitive nature out to this like tangible
beautiful.
storytelling
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
for sure.
I really don't think that like we as like a as a society,
As a society.
Oh,
like,
don't remind me.
right. I just don't think we like can really not only appreciate it but even wrap our heads around the fact that not only is it now a storytelling like vessel, but it's like it happened insanely fast.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did.
You
The
know? Like,
progression of
very
video
fast.
games like is insane over the last even like 5 years.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
yeah, there's so many amazing storytelling games too. I'm also playing Kentucky Route Zero, which is really good. Firewatch, I'm on my like 3rd playthrough of it because
that is such a pretty
love it.
game.
Have you actually played it?
Yeah, I played through Firewatch.
It's amazing. It's so good. And then also, Life is Strange is a good game.
Life is
That's
Strange is
that's,
so
that's
good.
the game I was thinking about when you said
Love
it's a
Life is
walkthrough.
Strange.
I was trying to find
No, but
that.
What Remains of Edith Finch, it's kind of fucked up. I don't want to like spoil it, but like basically you're walking through this house and like through these rooms of like people who have died in this family because like they say that they're like cursed, and it forces you to play through their deaths and how they died. So like you have to be directly responsible for it happening.
Oh, wow.
Damn.
Which is real fucked up. And it's such a slap in the face, but it's so good. And the game's only like 3 hours long.
Smart.
And
So
I'm
like
definitely,
sit down.
yeah,
play
I
the
played
game
it in
through.
one night
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then
That sounds really cool.
I still
sounds
really want to
really
play
cool.
that.
And then I
Sounds
had to
super
calm
interesting.
down by playing Witcher 3. I played a little bit of Spooderman after.
Spooderman.
The new one or the PS4 one?
PS4. I don't have a PS5.
Oh, gotcha.
Unfortunately. You know what game I've had for I've had since it came out, and it's the reason that I got the PS4, but I have been procrastinating.
You still haven't played it?
No, I haven't. I've been procrastinating playing it because I
Jesus.
know how it ends and I know that it's sad and I can't do it.
What's the game?
You don't know? It's The Last of Us 2.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because Last of Us 1 is like my favorite game of all time. It is fantastic. I'm also obsessed with Ashley Johnson, and Laura Bailey is in part 2. But I can't do it. I can't bring myself to do it. Have you played it, Michael? Yeah. Isn't it? It's so pretty. I've watched a little bit of a playthrough.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a
30
long game.
hours,
I've
jeez.
cosplayed Ellie from that game, but I haven't actually played that game because I'm scared too. And also, I'm generally not very good at video games. Just like,
Oh, me
At
neither.
all.
Yeah, same. But I
oh,
love
I'm also playing Horizon Zero Dawn. I'm playing 80 different things at once because I'm a mess.
She's a gamer.
Robot deer game.
What?
Horizon Zero Dawn. It's the robot deer
Oh.
game. Right? That's the one where it's like all
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
like
yeah.
like futuristic and at the same time
The
like
machines.
ruined natural landscapes
Yeah,
and stuff
pretty
like
much.
that. It's so cool.
It's very, very cool. It's a very good game.
I wish I was in the like not the writing room necessarily, but like the first meeting where they were like, "Okay, guys, got an idea for a game. Futuristic robots, deer."
Yeah.
And then
Literally.
everybody was like,
And everyone starts clapping.
"Fuck yeah!" Also, really hot protagonist. Yeah.
Yeah.
Even better.
Naturally.
Yeah.
Played by fucking Ashley Birch too, who's
Yeah, Ashley Birch.
A+. Love her. She guest starred on Critical Role. It was great.
Dude, I think that's another crazy thing is like, you know, voice acting in video games now is like, not only is it so approachable and great, but you just named
I just named like four
three people
Oh,
or
three
four,
people, yeah.
right, you know, like, but you knew their names.
Yeah.
What?
I could name a bunch more too.
Right,
Like,
that's what I'm saying. Like they've reached, like,
to be fair, it is because they're all Critical Role people, and I watch Critical Role every single Thursday. It's the best. I love it. And all of them are voice actors, and
Yeah.
so it's like I've seen so much of their content, and like Travis Willingham and Laura Bailey, they're a couple, and they played Lust and Roy Mustang in Attack on. I was about to say Attack on
Attack on
Titan.
Titan.
No, I
You were
know,
about
I
to
know.
say The disrespect that was in. I will come over there and I will destroy.
Attack on Titan is
Full
I was
Metal
about to say,
Alchemist.
I was
Full
about to
Metal
say Attack
Alchemist.
on Titan, and then I was about to say Teen Titans, and that's
Attack
very
on
much not
Teen
right.
Titans.
Attack on
Attack on
Titans.
Teen Titans.
I'm glad that you caught yourself because I almost got so
I
angry.
saw the
No.
rage in your eyes
like,
boiling.
you're not about
to say
It's
Attack
like the Full Metal slander.
Full
It's
Metal
crazy.
Alchemist. Full Metal Alchemist.
Full
Yes.
Metal Alchemist. Very, very good game. What the fuck
Very
is
good
wrong
anime.
with me today?
they probably have a game that's.
There's probably a game.
Is there a game? I bet
I
there
don't know.
is.
Maybe.
Probably.
Have-
There's so many anime games.
Yeah.
Have y'all have all of y'all watched Demon Slayer?
Nope.
Yes.
I love Demon
I
Slayer.
love
Okay.
it. Oh, I
Have
just
you-
got my
Watch
Q cardigan.
Oh,
It's
yes.
so
Have you seen the Demon Slayer game that's coming out?
I have not, but I've
not.
heard things
It's like
about it.
if you've played or seen like Pokken Tournament or like Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm. It's like a fighting game, but as opposed to it just being like a side view beat 'em up kind of deal, it's
Yeah.
more of like a phase thing. So like you use projectiles, and then you get in, and then the phase shifts, and now it's like you have a whole new set of moves where it's like close, but then you
Oh.
get pushed away, and then you go back to that like projectile like run around. It
interesting.
looks really cool. There's not a lot of characters though, because it's based on the anime as opposed to the
Right.
manga.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure it's gonna be really pretty though.
Oh, it is
I
really
can
pretty.
I think that's
I'm
one of
probably
the
gonna
things
get
that
it.
I really loved about Demon Slayer is that it was just gorgeous.
Oh my gosh,
I
the
love it.
animation style is so unique and like so beautiful.
That studio
I'm
did not
obsessed
have
with
to
it.
pop off
They
like
No, they
that.
did
didn't,
not.
and they did that for
They
us.
did
Yeah.
that,
There's
Thank
a lot.
you.
Yeah, seriously, dude. Did you see that Dream Train in Japan? The Demon Slayer Dream Train movie beat out all of the what's the big Japanese director that everybody loves? Oh my gosh. Oh, it's Studio Ghibli. It beat out all of the.
yeah,
It beat out
okay.
literally all of the
Miyazaki?
Studio
Really?
Ghibli.
Yeah, Miyazaki?
Yeah, Miyazaki. It built
Wow.
every release, not like in total because there's a shit ton
So
of
many,
Studio
yeah.
Ghibli movies, but every single singular Studio Ghibli movie has made less money than the Demon Slayer Dream Train movie
And
in Japan.
crazy.
I want to see it.
I want to see
so
it
bad.
so badly. When?
I just want to see Rengoku, dude. I love Rengoku.
The studio hasn't announced it, but
I know. That's
fandom
the
predictions
problem.
are like midsummer.
Yeah.
I know.
Well, it was supposed to come out last year,
Well,
but then it was
a
pushed
lot
back.
of things were supposed to come out last
Yeah,
year.
yeah.
You're right.
Yeah.
I think that if anime like starts doing this whole like arc within a movie, because like when you read the manga, if it's a shorter arc, it takes you about 2 to 3 hours, right?
Yeah.
And then when you watch a movie, it's about an hour and a half to 2 hours. I kind of like that. I think it's
Yeah,
really
I think they should
interesting.
utilize movies more.
Yeah.
I
For
agree.
shorter
Higher
arcs.
budget.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they get more of a budget too, and I
Yeah.
just think like it.
Less of a time
see.
crunch usually because it's not a weekly thing. It's just like a
Like
Yeah,
if we had
it's one
gotten
big
like
project.
this last, like this current Doctor Stone arc in a movie, I think that would have.
I think- yeah.
So hard.
Yeah.
Like that would have been really cool.
yep. If they didn't do all that filler at the
Filler-
beginning.
Filler. It's fine. It's fine.
How are you gonna open a first episode of a season with filler?
With a filler,
TMS,
come on, the
TMS,
second
come
season.
on.
Come on now, come on, do better,
It's fine.
do better.
But-
It's fine. I'll forgive them.
But to say it picked up would be an understatement.
Yes,
Yeah.
even though the second episode, it was
Oh,
just
last
like,
week's
boom.
episode was
Yeah.
very good.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
haven't caught up still.
So you don't watch anime?
No, I don't. But I am sitting here thinking about something. Do you want to hear what it
Yeah,
is?
absolutely.
Yes.
Why can starfish grow back their legs, but like a human can't?
Because we haven't evolved that far.
I
yet.
think. Well, I think it's because starfish legs are extremely like not complex
Yeah,
as opposed
okay.
to
I
like
don't know,
a-
Andy. Have you tried to grow back your
Yeah.
leg? Do you know you can't do it?
humans
Let's
do
cut
have
it off.
Let's test it.
humans do have regenerative capabilities, just
No,
not
I
at
know.
that scale.
But why not? That's bullshit.
Because I
It's
don't know.
Fucked up.
I know.
That's fucked up.
It's
I'm gonna
fucked
talk
up,
to
and I
somebody
think
about
I'm
this.
gonna write a very strongly worded email.
Abbott, make it
Oh
true.
my gosh.
God. This is an Abbott hate
Yeah.
account.
Yeah, this
Speaking of Abbott, should we talk about what happened?
I want to talk
What
about
a
how I wish
fucking-
Greg Abbott would shut the hell up.
yeah.
Shut the hell up.
I would like to follow and say I wish that almost every politician would shut the hell up.
Yeah,
Yes.
I agree.
Just for a
If you're a
week.
politician, shut the hell up.
Even
If you are
even if I
listening to
buy
this.
into everything you say, just
Stop.
shut up.
Just be quiet.
Just shut up.
Just silence. I think the worst part about it is that so Greg Abbott decided to lift the mask mandate and open up businesses to 100% capacity.
To which I
Next
say
week,
pog.
Enough
up.
silence.
Very not pog.
And this
Silence.
is all coming right after the a bunch of people died in the freeze, so it's 100% a political move to just cover that up and
Sure, sure.
take the blame on something else, which is horrible because now even more people are going to die just from the sheer spike that this is going to cause.
Did
Yeah.
you see that like nearly at the same time, he released the mask mandate lift. This article got posted on Twitter of like Houston is the first
Oh,
city
yeah,
in
I saw
America
that.
to test positive for all of the different strains of coronavirus.
Yes.
And you know what? We're disappointed but not surprised.
Yeah,
No,
honestly.
I mean, we have a huge city. There's
Yeah,
a
yeah.
lot of people living here. It would make sense that we would have every strain.
Yeah, I would.
It's
But
like-
it would also make sense to keep
to keep the masks.
protecting
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
bajillion people
No,
that live here.
it's- It's so fucked up too, because like I work at a place that I will not name.
That shall not be named.
That shall not be named,
Yeah.
but it is a very popular coffee shop.
Isn't it
and-
Flower Child?
Shut up. I work at a very popular coffee shop, and you probably know what it is. And like, I fully fucking hate my job, and if they don't handle the mask thing well, I'm
We'll
gonna
dip.
quit.
Yeah.
I will dip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a dance teacher, and I know that a lot of my students are like, hopefully they don't hear this. They're 8, it's fine, but they're parents. And a lot of my students, I know their parents are like anti-maskers.
Sure.
And they like
Oops.
are constantly like, I have these little girls in my class that are like, wearing a mask is not healthy for your lungs, is what my mom says. Why can't we just take them off? And I'm like, because you fucking can't. Sit down.
You know what else
Put-
isn't
put
healthy
your
for your
mask on.
lungs? Coronavirus.
Yeah.
Coronavirus.
Literally.
Coronavirus.
And so like, I don't know how to handle it. I'm not gonna let any kids without masks into my class. And I know that that's gonna piss off some parents.
Is it? I mean, if it's up to your discretion, if you don't feel safe,
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
like, I don't know. I don't feel
the kid
safe
brought
with
like a
it.
gun into your class.
Yeah, not
I'd be
okay
like,
with
please
that.
don't have
Yeah,
a gun.
don't please
you know?
don't do that. Yeah.
Don't endanger my life. Like if you didn't wear a mask,
Yeah.
you would be endangering my life.
Period.
Especially, I know that they're kids and they're less likely to carry it, but I do have one little girl in my class that actually had it.
Yeah.
And it's like,
couldn't-
I can't. No, she wasn't in class when she had it.
Oh, I was like,
Oh.
No, she missed a couple of classes for it. But
well, at least they kept her home.
yeah, they did, thankfully. I don't think her parent is an anti-masker. because she always wears hers, and she has like this cute little like beaded thing, kind of like you have like a glasses chain.
Oh, I love that.
She's adorable. But, ooh, man, y'all, teaching kids, it's a wild experience. They roast me every single chance they get.
Of course.
Kids are so honest.
Mm-hmm. They're so honest. And I also
brutally
am like, it's pretty funny. I think I'm in trouble with my boss over there. I accidentally last week said men are trash in front of my 8-year-old students.
As you should.
And so my boss is like, hey, we got some feedback from some parents. And I'm like, okay, cool. And I need to call her.
I hope it's not that I said men are trash.
I hope it's not that I said men are trash. But, you know, it's fine. It's fine, and we're fine, and everything's good. And I don't have anxiety.
If I could say men are trash openly at any time I was at work, it would be a lot.
Can we get a clue?
Well, that was the thing.
Yeah, men are trash.
I didn't think that any of them would, like, hear it. I said it super under my breath. I really did.
So your kids roast you?
Oh, constantly. Do you want to hear some of the things they say?
Okay, of course.
Okay, we can make this a bit. So I'll start with, like, the very first class I taught. So I teach...
Damn, at the first class they roasted you.
They roast me every class.
God damn.
They humble me, but they also... I don't know. They're cool. I like my classes. They're absolutely insane, and I don't deal with kids very well, but that's okay. I don't have much of a filter, and it's really hard, like, teaching children. I remember I used to go to church with Karina, and Karina was like, hey, can you not curse while we're there? And I'm like, yeah, sure.
In God's house?
In God's house.
You was cursing.
I said, fuck in God's house.
Damn.
The Lord would want, he would want that.
God was praying, God was like being there holy, and he heard fuck, and he was like, what?
What the fuck?
Listen, God doesn't care, but I worked at the church at the time, and my boss cared. Okay,
Yes.
Karina, you're telling me you're not God?
No, but I definitely.
Not. I know. Everyone is surprised.
Crazy. That's what they all call me at work. Anyway, continue.
Exactly.
Anyway, go.
I definitely said men are trash, and then I also definitely said shit in front of my kids. But it's fine. I don't think they heard the shit, but it's okay. I'm sorry, I'm way off track right now. So one of the first things that my kids said to me was I was substituting for this hip hop class. It wasn't supposed to be my class just yet. But I was subbing for this guy that had been teaching because he was sick. COVID. And I showed up, and they were like, where's the guy from before? And I was like, oh, well, I'm just subbing today. I don't know where he is. But he should be back next week. And they were like, okay, well, are you cool? And I was like,
damn.
What? Like, are you cool?
And you were like, I don't know. Holy shit.
I don't know. I guess we'll find out.
Yeah.
And then, so I taught that class. The next week, I went and taught my ballet class, there's a couple of kids that cross over and know each other in those classes. And this one little girl, she looks at me and she goes, this girl in that other class said that she thought you were boring and she hates you. And I was like, okay, cool. That one wasn't a roast. That one was just mean. But I got told by my kids that, number one, I looked like an emo teenager. This isn't untrue. Number two, I got told I looked like one of the kids from Stranger Things. Specifically, Mike, the curly-haired one.
Finn Wolfhard?
Finn Wolfhard.
Nice.
Don't know why. I don't.
Because you have dark black hair, and for little kids, they're like, dark black hair.
I was
Finn
wearing
Wolfhard.
dark black hair in pigtails. I think I was wearing a flannel, and so I think that's why they thought that.
That's probably another one. The only flannel I've ever seen is Finn Wolfhard with his flannel. He's Stranger Things.
I was wearing like regular tap shoes, like adult tap shoes, and they all have like the little ones with like the ribbons and stuff on them.
Oh my god.
And they were like,
that's cute.
They're like 5.
Well, that's cute. I was just saying it's cute.
No, it's very, very cute. I like have to help them put them on because like they don't know how to tie their shoes. It's really cute. However, I was putting my own on, and they were like, what are those? And I was like, these are my tap shoes. And they go, those aren't tap shoes. And I was like, yeah, they are.
They definitely are.
And they're like, those are boys' shoes. And I was like, these are professional tap shoes. And they were like, are you a professional? And I was like, technically, yeah. And they were like, can you do a backflip? And I was like, no. And they
I
were
like that. In their minds, they're like professionalism
equals backflip.
They were like, can you do a backflip? And I was like, no. And they were like, so you're not a professional.
Period.
Hello, I'm a biochemist. I do.
Can you do a backflip?
Can you do a backflip though?
Well, and then like,
yes.
I was teaching them this dance, and I fucked it up myself a little bit, and they were like, professionals don't mess up. And I was like, oh my gosh, these kids are wild.
We need
True.
to stop this narrative right now.
No,
this is
truly-
unhealthy.
I could talk about this class for literally like 4 hours. They also said, this is how I said men are trash to them. So they were like, how old are you? And I was like, oh, I'm 20. And they were like, are you married? And I was like, no. And this little girl goes, then how are you happy? And I was like, what? She goes, you have to be happy. You have to be married to be happy. And I was like, no, you don't. First of all, and I said it under my breath, men are trash. And then they go, what? And I went, oh, nothing. And then like moved on with the conversation. And then I got a text from my boss that was like, we have some feedback from some parents.
Yeah. It sounds like the more and more you talk about it,
The worse
I'm
it
buying.
sounds.
I'm buying into the they heard you.
Well, I know I'm not like getting fired because we had a conversation about like next classes because one of the girls' masks broke and she's like, oh yeah, we'll make sure that doesn't happen again. I also got roasted for wearing Crocs because I was
As you
wearing-
should.
Shut the fuck up. Crocs are great. They're so comfortable. They're so light. I got
They're
mine
not
from
even
Five Below.
Crocs.
They're the same thing.
Are they like,
They are not Croc branded
They're
are
not
they,
Crocs.
are they like frocks or something like
Yeah,
that?
they're frocks.
They
Do you
were-
remember when Tom's was like a big thing and then like
Yes,
Bob's
Bob's.
came out? I was like, you didn't even fucking try.
Yeah,
No, 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 no.
honestly.
No,
Jeez.
but I was wearing Crocs and they roasted me for my Crocs. No, there's been many other things that I can't really think of, but there's been a lot.
I have my youngest brother Canyon is autistic and is a child and very honest. And I was eating dinner maybe like a week or two ago.
This is funny.
And I'm eating dinner and, you know, feeling a little confident as one does when they eat dinner.
Right.
Right.
And I'm sitting there enjoying my family, loving every minute of it, soaking up all of the affection and attention that I'm getting at the moment.
Absolutely.
Which I'm usually starved of. And
Oh
I'm
gosh.
just kidding. My
Anyway,
my younger brother Canyon is sitting there, and I can like when he's about to say some stupid shit, like his eyes start like focusing on the stupid shit. I think he like puts it in front of his eyes and reads it, kind of deal. And he's looking at me, and he's looking at my hand, which you can't see, but after the hole punch incident, I had a surgery, and I have 2 pretty gnarly scars on my hand from the surgery. It was they put a plate and screws in it, broke 3 metacarpal, whatever.
nice.
So I'm sitting there, and for another informational tidbit, I am very self-conscious about that fact. So I'm sitting there eating dinner, and Canyon, his name's Canyon, is sitting there, and he is, you know, getting this like dumb look on his face, and he looks at me and he's like, "Hey, Caleb," and I was like, "Yeah, what's up, Canyon? What's going on?" And he was like, "So like, what are those things on your hand? You know, those like, it looks like Frankenstein's monster. You know, they're like really hideous and scary looking."
Oh my God.
And I was like, "Canyon, I really hope you're not talking about my scars." And he was like, "Scars." Oh my God. I was like, "No fucking way."
Oh
The
my
whole-
God.
the- and my
Got
whole-
you.
freak.
Got you.
Hey, what are those disgusting, hideous things that everybody noticed first when they meet you and they're all scared of you for? Yeah. He told me that, and I like looked up in the sky, and I looked down at like, I guess the grilled chicken we were eating, and I was like,
Okay.
you know, yeah, my
I
whole,
be like, gotta go.
my
moving
mom
right
my
on.
mom puts her hand in her head. Canyon.
Notice how none of your family defended you.
Oh yeah, yeah, exactly. All my family was like,
Well,
He's got a point.
they're kind of
He's
they're
making-
kind of
he
fucking
kind of do be
gross.
making some points though.
You kind of do be spitting facts, dude. Canyon's like infamous for the.
Brutal honesty.
I mean, just like when you never want to hear it. Like, I've been working out and trying to eat healthy and stuff like that to get a better body image for myself and, you know, look at myself in a better way. And this was it was like the same week that he was being a dick. It was earlier in that infamous week where he, you know, came in my room, just like walked in, and I'm playing video games, and he was like, "Hey, Caleb." I was like, "Oh my fucking God," you know, headphone off. "What's up?" And he was like, "You're getting skinny." And I was like, oh, wow, thanks, Canyon. That's nice. He was like, yeah, you used to be pretty big. And he just walked out of the fucking room.
He said what he needed to say.
Yeah, damn. How long have you been like, brewing on that? Like, how long have you been pondering?
He was waiting till you got skinny.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, I was about to say, like the day before, he was like, nah, not yet. And then that day,
Not quite.
it used to be pretty big. And I was like, man, when? Like, can I get some information? No, just used to.
No, just at one point in
At
the
one
past.
point, you were big.
You were
I
big.
was like, damn, Canyon.
God, kids are brutal.
Yeah, he's mean.
I
But
love
he's
kids.
like also like
Keep you humble.
such a nice kid. It's just I don't think that they can really like parse like this is not something you should tell. Obviously,
Yeah.
I mean, they haven't learned like social convention through like embarrassment or anything like
Yeah.
that. They haven't.
Yeah.
So they're just saying whatever's on their mind.
that's a good point. I think I have a question for y'all as women. This is like so Anna. My girlfriend works at Cotton On in California, and
This
in
is the
California.
part that's going to be taken out of context.
No, hold on. So Anna was being, no. So Anna, her whole store had to take a sexual harassment class. She's never taken a sexual harassment class at work. I have never taken a sexual harassment class at work. I've taken ladder classes at work.
No, same.
Yeah.
So, she lives in California, so we FaceTimed last night, and she was telling me about like the rules California has that no other states have. Like there's literally in every, employee protective kind of thing, California has its own tab.
Yeah.
So she was like, yeah. So apparently I've been assaulted or sexually harassed at every job I've ever worked at because I'm reading all these things that California deems as assault or harassment, and check. And she was talking about it, and she was like, it's so weird. Because like it feels like California gives a fuck, how like victims of stuff like that usually don't report it,
Yeah.
right? In California, it is a manager's job to report things when she sees that kind of stuff. That's like awesome,
Yeah, no, it's great.
Because like I wouldn't report something that happened to me. Most people would just shake it off.
Right, because you don't want to like cause
shit.
you don't want to
Yeah.
cause a scene. You don't want to cause trouble for
Right.
people.
I
Yeah.
agree.
It happened at me and Karina's old job.
Yeah,
all the time.
all the time.
That's what I'm saying. So like, she got into this. We got into this topic, and I was like, man, I think that's really awesome. I like that. I like that you feel protected. I like that the average person can feel protected. And then we were talking about there was this old guy when she worked at Cotton On in Houston that did not work there, but worked at a store across and had a crush on her and was always in the Cotton On store, just like being
creepy.
fucking creepy.
Yeah.
Right. And Anna's a very nice person. So Anna never wanted to like, fuck off, you're being creepy kind of thing. And me and her got into a conversation about it. And I was like, yeah, I don't think a girl telling a guy that is doing things like that ever really works. Because a guy, if I'm being creepy towards you, right? Like if I'm basically stalking you and you came up to me and you were like, yo, you're fucking creepy, stop doing that. My brain could chalk it up to like, oh, well, she just doesn't like me. She thinks I'm ugly. But other girls that do like me, I've done this too and they've liked it kind of thing. So I think my question is like, I think it takes a guy to tell another guy that what they're doing is weird and creepy for a guy to really rationalize
No,
it.
it's true and it's fucked up. I mean, it's just like the thing of like, a guy will be like talking to you and you're like, sorry, I have a boyfriend, I'm not interested. And like,
they take it as a challenge sometimes.
They take it as
That's
a challenge,
insane.
but also like the only thing that will get someone to go away is for like a
saying you have a
boyfriend
boyfriend.
to be like, hey,
Fuck off.
If I
Fuck
tell
off.
if I tell a guy I'm not interested, he sees it as a challenge. When I say I have a boyfriend, he's like, "Oh, you're already another man's property.
Yeah.
so you're off limits."
Yeah, no,
essentially.
literally.
Dude,
it's the dehumanization of it all.
Yeah, maybe, and that probably plays a part of it and stuff
Yeah.
like that. I just think it's crazy. I also think that guys have this like, and I'm gonna say something that I don't know if y'all will agree with, but I think like movies and media really make this like cat and mouse game, or this guy that like okay, Moulin Rouge, at the beginning Satine doesn't like Ewan McGregor, which is frankly impossible.
Yeah, true.
And because holy shit in that movie, he's a little greasy, but
fine.
other than that, fine. Anyway, so, Satine doesn't like him, and then he plays this like sexy, like, I'm gonna make you love me kind of thing.
Gross.
So like no, but
No, I just didn't like that whisper.
right. That was my sexy voice. I whisper.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Reconsider.
I will. I shall. I'll do some soul searching. But
Thank you for the choice.
that kind of shit, like that kind of shit. I grew up watching that movie, so there was probably a time that I was like, this is what girls want, and then all it takes is like, I've never been told I was creepy, but all it takes is like feeling creepy, and then you're like, oh yikes,
Yeah.
But there are
Well,
a
that's
lot of
how it should go. Anyway.
I agree, but I'm gonna guarantee you that a lot. I don't talk to women like they're women. I talk to women like
they're people.
I talk to women like I talk to a guy.
Yeah.
Right. But there are a lot of guys that really separate those two things.
Yes.
This is what I should say to women, and then when I'm with the boys, this is what I should say.
I mean, we have friends that do that, and it sucks so bad.
Right. I wish that you could
be seen
just
as something different just because of like.
Have you ever heard of I think it's called the Madonna horror complex?
No, I haven't.
No, I haven't.
What's that?
Please
So
enlighten me,
interesting.
though.
So I was reading this thread on Twitter about how men, like the whole concept of consent, right? And how men view consent as a challenge instead of as something to just be given to, right? And the Madonna horror complex basically is this thing where a man is either sexually attracted to a woman or he respects her, but those two cannot mutually coexist, because if you want to fuck a woman, you're not going to respect her, but if you respect a woman, you don't want to fuck her anymore because you see her as a person. So that's kind of like this whole thing comes in of like just like the psychology and all this stuff, and just like society being so ingrained in like men, even media, especially in media, like that's what you see, right? Like like a woman, that's a challenge that I need to overcome and conquer, all this stuff, instead of just being a complex person yourself as a woman.
Sure.
So it's just so interesting.
That actually like made me sick to my stomach.
Yeah,
Like,
it's
physically,
really-
physically I'm sitting here and I'm like,
It's really bad to think about.
No.
I would like to add that I do not feel like I'm that way.
not all men.
Not
Not all men.
but again, that's just it's like a complex theory.
Yes,
it's
it
just
is.
a theory.
It's
so
very-
I hate being compared to the average dude.
yeah,
Caleb's classic line.
Caleb's classic line.
that they took to the
Your
fucking
main takeaway.
grave.
No.
This guy seems like a pretty average
Yeah,
dude.
that guy's an average dickhead.
Podcast was very, very good. But I was gonna say, like, another thing about like that whole thing too is like friendships between men and women, and people being like, yeah, men and women can't be friends, is so like
Which I
so
just
archaic,
completely
so
fucking
ridiculous.
disagree
But
with.
it's like okay, so this is a scientific thing that men have trouble differentiating between friendship and between platonic and romantic feelings.
Which I will agree with.
Yeah, it's like you'll be friends with like a guy, and then suddenly it's like, hey, I have to tell you something, and you're like, huh?
Oh, God,
I
I
gotta
know.
go.
It literally
every
just
time.
happened to me. Sorry.
Especially,
Yeah.
especially
I was
like, one thing that sucks is I've been told that I have a very naturally flirty personality, which I would agree with to a certain extent.
I would agree as well.
Yeah, and
I think most people in theater.
in theater,
That's just
yeah,
kind of, we just built like
You're
that.
just charismatic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
you're
Well,
outgoing.
from what I've tried to like figure out why I'm like that is like, especially when you're in a show, all I want is for the show to succeed. That and selfishly for me to succeed in the show, within the show. And I see, in the way I see it, if everyone is confident, you will do better.
Yes.
Yeah.
It is just a plain fact. If you like what you look like on stage, if you like what you sound like on stage, if you like what you're doing on stage, if you believe what you're doing, you will do better. There's no argument against it. So when I'm in a show, and this is not, and it's a subconscious thing, I find myself being, if I have a scene partner, I find myself being extra nice to that scene partner and telling them they look good every day and telling them that they're doing a great job and stuff like that. And granted, that has gotten me into trouble, and when people can't differentiate or people can't like see that I'm just, the word manipulating is a little harsh, but in a way like manipulating them to feel good about themselves, like, giving them that confidence that I want them to have. I think that theater people do it marginally more than like the average person does it. You know what I mean?
Well, it's not even like, for me, it's not even just like complimenting someone. It's genuinely like, I feel like being kind of flirty, and it's not meant to be like, and at all like, I'm attracted to you and I'm going to let you know. It's just banter to me.
And it's just fun.
It's just
Yeah,
fun.
because-
I think it's funny, and I think it's
because
banter.
Theater, and this is speaking from experience from being in a few different theater departments at a few different schools. We all universally are the kind of people where we'll look at our friends and we'll be like, oh my god, are we gonna kiss? And then if you like say that to anybody else that's like not affiliated,
they're like
that's just how we act. That's just how we are like with our friends. And like if you say that to anyone else, they're like, are you flirting with me? Like what's going on?
No.
It's like,
no,
no, baby, I'm an artist. I'm just open and expressive.
No, but if you want to,
no, but like if you want to kiss,
yeah.
They're like,
if you want to kiss.
I don't understand.
Plus, all theater kids are horny, so that's just.
Oh my god,
that's a fact.
y'all ever, dude? Okay, so Reddit is like the deep recesses
Yes.
of it's not 4chan.
Bro, I love
It's not
Reddit.
4chan,
But it's
but
still
it's
accessible.
one
it's,
step
it's
away.
fucking
It's
close.
still accessible.
If you ever want to read some crazy shit, go on r/offmychest and don't sort by
Oh my
popular because
gosh.
people are on there like
I murdered someone.
shit like that. Like, I think I raped my girlfriend today and I don't know how to feel about it. And I'm like, what the fuck, dog? And then their usernames are like small kitten 433 or some shit like that.
Yeah.
Like, what are you talking about? Like,
The internet is a wild
Yeah, it's
place.
fucking
Be
scary.
careful.
Insane.
Be
No,
careful out
I
there.
genuinely love Reddit. I actually like.
I love Reddit too.
Do you follow Glitch in the Matrix?
I can't say I do.
That one is absolutely my favorite.
Is it
And
like
it's just
pictures
people-
of shit like not working or
No,
something?
no, no. It's people being like, this is my story of like the time that I like glitched. And someone was like, yeah, me and my husband were walking down the stairs and we got to the bottom and I turned around and he was at the top of the stairs again. And he was like, I don't know how I got here. And then like
I
this one
just
here,
got chills.
the first thing that I opened whenever because I just opened Reddit, is my dead workmate is actually alive. And there's always like whole stories about it. And it's so fucking good. It's so fun to read through.
I love like the simulation theory and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like that stuff is so interesting.
Mm-hmm.
It makes so much sense that like even if it's just like a fun theory or if you do buy into it, it makes sense that your brain would like one brain would make up. Dude,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I was talking to a friend about this the other day. What do you think the first like harmony? Like imagine, because they didn't like understand it, right? Some dude in like a tribe was just born, or not dude, I mean person, was born with like a musical ear.
Yeah.
And, they were singing, because
Well,
like,
it goes like this: the fourth, the fifth, the minor
Minor
fall,
fall,
and the
and
major lift.
yeah.
Right. So like that, but you really have to, that's what, because they didn't like, voice was the first instrument for a long time. And then like drums and stuff, because, keeping a rhythm on your leg is like the most simple form of music. But imagine they're singing, some tribal hymn or some war song, and all of a sudden, they're like holding a note, and all of a sudden this guy goes, yeah, behind him or some
listen
shit.
to that riff.
And like
Holy
it hits like some pretty harmony.
Yeah. They probably ascended.
You know what?
Yeah. Everybody
Yeah.
looked at him like,
You'll actually
Are
get
you
a really
God?
good
Well-
example of a harmony at the end of this episode.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
But there's actually there are harmonies that happen naturally, like we've talked about this a lot in like choir and stuff. And if you have a group of people and you are all perfectly in tune with each other, singing the same note, there will be a natural harmony that resonates back to you.
God, music
makes
is so
sense. Music is
fucking
awesome.
cool.
And if you can hear it, and if you can pick up on it, you can match it. And
Right.
so like that's kind of like where the concept of like, I think music and harmonies and melodies and things comes from nature, because there is music
Yeah.
in nature.
Totally.
So
Wow.
It's just crazy that, and it's because some person was born with a different ear structure, like biologically, you can believe that like, they were gifted by God, or like if you're religious, but like for some reason, when they were developing in the womb, their ear was shaped slightly different, the inner workings, and now they can hear things that like, that's just so nuts to me.
well, I just think in general it's really interesting, because like you have people who are musical and you have people that aren't, and like you have like you're just being somebody, I think, that has a musical ear, and then like knowing somebody that doesn't is really strange, because you grow up and because like for me, I was always one of those people, like we had like a little keyboard growing up, and I
Sure.
would hear songs and I would like teach myself how to play those songs just by ear, just by listening on the
plunking it out.
keyboard. Yeah. And like just to know that there are people who like can't do that is
Yeah.
really strange
Yeah.
to me,
Yeah.
because like that's just kind of like you grow up
I mean-
around other musical people.
That's not
and
something I can really do.
Yeah, I couldn't plunk it out. But
I can.
Oh wait, for real?
No, hell no.
I can tune a guitar if I hear like a note, and then I can copy that on my guitar.
Yeah.
But I can't do like.
Now, I will say,
Anything
Linz, I
complex with
remember
that.
when I was a kid, I would do the same thing.
Okay, I was like, wait.
but,
No, I don't mean to like-
no. But like, I remember my mom specifically like sitting me down, and I was like, "What? Like, that's easy. Like, you can just like." Because
Yeah.
I would never look at like. I would get in so much trouble because I was part of piano lessons, and like I would have these sheet music, but I wouldn't look at the sheet music. I would just like hear my piano teacher play it once and then memorize it
and just do it.
And then my mom was like, "No, you have to learn how to like read music." I was like,
Not
"Why? I
really.
can just memorize
Sure,
it."
sure,
just
sure.
freestyle.
So I still like
you know?
to this day I took piano lessons for I think like 10 years before I begged my parents to let me stop. And I still don't know how to read music. Like
Yeah.
I had to teach myself like recently how to do it.
Yeah.
It's interesting,
not a
though.
thing most people can do.
It's
Yeah,
interesting
that's
though,
really
like
crazy to me.
how there's different kinds of like musical inclination. Like I
Yeah.
hear rhythm very
Better.
very well.
That's what I was about to say.
because I'm a dancer.
I hear rhythm better than I would say the average person does, as opposed to like pitch and stuff.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I can pick up complex rhythms easier than I would
easily,
say
yeah.
the average person.
Yeah,
can.
I'd say the
Yeah.
same, especially since being a dancer, and that's like part of my training is like
Yeah.
knowing like rhythm and beats and like all that sort of thing. It's like it's there's different kinds of musical inclination, and I've always thought that was really interesting.
Right.
Yeah.
I think there's also like a lot of things that you can teach yourself too, as far
Absolutely.
as musical inclination goes.
Yeah.
Like you don't necessarily have to be born with it. Like rhythms, for example, I don't think that was always my strong suit, but I remember like specifically being in band and in choir and like learning what a time signature was, and then I would go home and I would listen to just music on the radio and like try and figure out what the time
Yeah,
signature
and you can
was.
decipher it. You'd be like,
Yeah,
that's
and
that.
so
Yeah.
I would just be like listening to songs
The
and be
worst-
like 1 2 3 4 1 2 3, you know, and
Yeah,
just
The
I
worst
get
part
that.
about music is that it's all math. Yeah, but it's math that's easy to understand
Right,
for a
right.
musical mind, you know. And I don't know.
I think the
it's
worst part about
it's
music
so
is
cool.
trying to find the key signature because I don't know why that's so hard for me.
Gosh, I
But
know. Wow.
No,
Well-
you know the every good boy does fine.
Yep.
Or something
Yeah,
like
yeah,
this
yeah.
on the thing. I have to do that if I'm playing like I was gonna say if I'm playing tab, I can play tab pretty easily. It's not about playing tab. But like if I'm doing like anything on piano and I'm trying to like read sheet music, I have to go every good boy. Okay, even George Washington.
Okay. Yeah.
Even George-
Yeah.
yeah, like that thing exactly. But yeah, it's super interesting. Okay, is there
It's-
anything else we want to talk
It's
about? before
wicked
we wrap it up?
interesting.
I think we covered a lot of
Yeah,
topics.
we
there.
did. We talked about a
We
lot
talked
of
about
stuff.
everything.
Yeah, good stuff.
Probably have like
Music-
2 episodes worth.
I know,
Fucking
seriously.
rocks.
Yeah, no, totally.
Music,
Okay.
video games.
Okay, so if you are listening to this, you probably know where to find us. But we are Lone Star Visual and Performing Art, or Lone Star College Montgomery Visual and Performing Arts on YouTube and Facebook, as well as LSC-M Arts on Instagram. And what else was I going to say? Oh, follow me and Karina on Twitch. We stream there now.
Oh yeah, we're Twitch.
Karina,
Oh,
plug
and
yourself.
Lindsay.
And
She's gonna
Lindsay,
start.
oh yeah, you stream art.
I
Yeah.
have been streaming for a while.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, she's been streaming for a hot.
you're
She's
the
been streaming
OG.
before any of us.
Yeah, you're right.
My Twitch is at Karini Beanie.
Mine is Andy Drew _.
And mine is Lindsey Mckenna.
So
Caleb, what about
see
you?
you
Do
there.
you stream at all?
Yeah.
I'll probably start relatively soon.
Yeah, we should.
Yeah.
He came to my stream one time and I didn't know it was him.
Oh my god, that was the night. That was one of the. I almost cried. She was
Yeah,
so
I was-
fucking nice to me. It was ridiculous. That's-
Listen, you caught me at a weak moment.
yeah, I know it was different.
Damn, Karina being
Nah, Caleb's great. Do you have anything to plug?
When March 10th rolls around, if you still wear a mask, I will still be wearing a mask, so you're not alone.
I will as well.
Yes.
If you're not, I hate you.
Yes.
If you're not, I'm going to bark at you.
I will bark at you. I will bite you like a rat if you are not wearing your mask. Dude, speaking of the fucking mask thing, hold on. Sorry, I got one last thing to
We're
say.
trying to end it. Wrap it up, wrap it
One
up.
We're trying
last
so
fucking
hard.
thing.
Okay.
People walk into my job like not wearing masks and think that they're like veterans or some shit. They're like, we are the brave soldiers that are fighting against this oppression. And I'm like,
Yeah.
oh my God, fuck off. You look
No,
like
you're
a
an
giant
entitled baby.
Yeah, man. I know your face gets sweaty and itchy, and
I want to.
it's
I'm
frustrating.
gonna start. I'm gonna start like walking past people without masks and just being like, it's always the ugly ones.
You could always just walk past them and cough on them.
That's
true.
I
Yeah.
always want to do. I just like lower my mask
Yeah,
and just
yeah.
keep walking. Yep.
For real. Okay, well, were you plugging something? What are your plugs?
No, just be nice to everybody. I don't know.
Okay, there you go. There you
He's
go.
plugging kindness.
He's plugging kindness. Okay.
Not
well,
me. Follow my Twitch.
Yeah.
Hug your
kindness.
mom. Tell your mom she's cool sometimes. I don't know.
Yeah.
I tell my
Remember
mom she's
that.
cool every day.
Remember that
too.
the mask goes over your nose.
Wash your hands.
Wash your hands.
Still, that still
Keep doing
works.
it.
Yeah, please wash your hands.
Keep wearing your masks, guys. Just please.
Just for a little bit
just
longer.
for a little bit longer.
Just
It'll
a
be
little
fine.
bit longer.
We'll all be
Come
vaccinated
on.
soon.
And live theater will come back,
We
and,
don't want
and you'll
this
be able to go to the
anymore.
movies with your girlfriend, and like I get it. I know that's frustrating. Just hold on.
Yes.
We can do it.
We're all in this together. You're not the only one suffering. Come on.
Yeah. In fact, literally everyone is.
Literally.
Yeah, no, this is the worst. This is the fucking worst.
Okay.
But anyways, we're outie. 3-part.
Four-part.
Four-part.
You'll
harmony.
catch on.
4-part harmony on 3. 1, 2, 3. Bye.